This is going to go down as a big week of history too, for another reason, for a couple of reasons really. One is the AI flight. The other one is this is the week Warner Brothers and Disney decided to merge their streaming applications and become one. Now, what does this mean? I mean, when you think about it, it's actually kind of funny. You know, the cable companies, all these independent channels went out there to copy Netflix and introduced all of their own streaming services. They left cable, goodbye Comcast, goodbye, see you later, goodbye Time Warner, goodbye, any of them basically. So they went out, they scrambled to run away from the cable companies. And now all these independent channels, these streaming services, are now merging back after losing tens of billions of dollars, basically. They're now merging again to basically create, kind of what you have with cable. Basically one place where you can get all your stuff. And I'll tell you something, look, I have a lot of streaming services. My kids like Disney. Well, who am I kidding? I do too. We have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have HBO Max. It is so frustrating. Basically, subscription, you go from one to another, to another, to another. It's just gotten beyond the point of annoying with all the billing coming in, and it's unmanageable, basically. I liked it better, I hate to say it, if all these things were on Comcast or on one cable provider, even though they sting too, life would be a lot easier. So it looks like that is starting to happen again. All of these big companies are starting to merge their channels, and hopefully somebody will get the common sense to actually create one streaming platform that has all this content so we can manage our bills. And maybe it's Amazon, because Amazon kind of has that system right now. Just makes it so much easier to manage. So we are actually in the process of undoing something that everybody was rushing to do in the past 10 years. And, it reminds me kind of like Ma Bell. You remember back in the 80s when they broke up Ma Bell. They wanted to bring more competition. Well, look, there were hundreds of telecom companies. I made a ton of money of them in the 90s. But here we are, 20, 30 years later. And guess what? They've all merged back and become basically 3, 4, 5 different companies. So, we really don't want it to become a monopoly again. You want some competition, but you're never going to have 100. The economies of scale, the business model requires these companies to merge. Just too expensive to be on its own. So hopefully we will get simpler, easier streaming services. Maybe not go back to the cable companies because we all hated them, but at least we wouldn't have a dozen streaming services, which is completely unmanageable. Have a good week.